से पहला कौन सा है? Hello and welcome to Beyond. You're watching Your World Tonight. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and these are the top stories we're tracking for you at this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls on Pakistan to act against terror if it wants peace talks to resume. Says there are stress points in Asia due to rising military and trade ambition of some nations. The Congress announces an alliance with the Samajwadi Party for the Uttar Pradesh election. After bagging the party symbol of the bicycle, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav is set to seal a tie-up with Ajit Singh's Rashtriya Lok Dal as well. And CBI court charge sheets Indrani Mukherjee and her husband, former media baron Peter Mukherjee, in the Sheena Bora murder case. Indrani files for divorce. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hit out at Pakistan even while projecting talks as the way forward. Addressing the Raisina Dialogue in New Delhi, Prime Minister Modi said Pakistan must act against terror if it wants talks with India. He said countries that export terror stand isolated in the region. Speaking of India's ties with China, the Prime Minister said the two countries have differences. While projecting the rise of India and China as an unprecedented economic opportunity, he also made a veiled reference to the South China Sea dispute, saying growing ambition of some nations is leading to stress points in Asia.
It is not unnatural for two large neighboring powers to have some differences. In the management of our relationship and for peace and progress in the region, both our countries need to show sensitivity and respect for each other's core concerns and interests.
We're now joined by Atul Aneja, the China correspondent of the Hindu newspaper, and Taha Siddiqui, Beyond's Pakistan correspondent. Coming to you, Atul, first. What do you make of Prime Minister Modi's remarks there at the opening of the Raisina Dialogue just a short while ago?
I think there is multiple signaling going on here. And for me, the biggest takeaway is, his emphasis on multipolarity of the world and his, therefore, remarks, especially on Russia, where he calls Putin as an abiding friend. On China is an interesting one which you played just now on your channel. And there's another quote which says that I see the rise of India and China as an unprecedented opportunity for the two countries and for the whole world. I mean, it is the tone seems to be a departure from the cycle of tensions which were going on. So, I mean, does it reflect, it may reflect a sort of change of track, not fundamentally, but in a nuanced way, signaling that India is now more interested once again in getting back to the kind of engagement which got disrupted after PM's visit to China in 2015. So there may be a signal here of getting back on track on China, but with caveats, no doubt, because you mentioned about the core interests have to be kept in mind, and I would say NSG and Masood Azhar, etc., has not gone off the table. So that the PM has said. And also, I think he has also mentioned about the connectivity projects being important, but that should not impinge on sovereignty. I see that also a signal on the Belt and the Road that we are not really on board that. But having said that, there seems to be a change in tone and a signal perhaps to re-engage China on a more positive track. We will see tomorrow because I think the Chinese foreign minister might react to these remarks and there'll be greater clarity then.
Indeed, Atul, as you mentioned, the Prime Minister in his remarks mentioned, and I quote, that there is an unprecedented opportunity for cooperation between India and China. He went on to say that it is not unnatural for two big powers such as India and China to have differences, But he went on to say that both countries need to show sensitivity and respect to each other's core interests and concerns. Now, Atul, he also went on to mention or talk about open, transparent, balanced and inclusive security architecture in Asia and beyond. What do you make of that comment?
You see, it's very interesting because of the larger context in which these remarks are being made, which is that the United States, whatever signals we have got, many mixed signals in fact from Donald Trump, is that perhaps the United States, this whole Obama strategy of pivot to Asia and the Asia Pacific, they might be on a withdrawal mode. It's not certain. We are not definitely out there. But general isolationist sentiment and inward-looking approach of Donald Trump may suggest that there may be a vacuum coming in the Asia Pacific. Now, if that's the Prime Minister's sense, then what happens? Who fills this vacuum? Do we need a new architecture there? And therefore, does India also have a role in that? Because Asia Pacific, you can see two things. China, of course, is very, very being assertive of late. And then you also have very interesting exercises between the Russians and the Philippines, which I thought has not, grabbed the global attention as much as it should. And so the Prime Minister now saying this is interesting and may not be entirely non-controversial, especially I'm sure the Chinese will not be very pleased with India going beyond South Asia and Indian Ocean and trying to suggest the Asian architecture. But, the statement is quite open-ended. And it would be inappropriate at this time to draw too big a conclusion out of it to suggest that India is wanting to get into Asia. I don't think that's warranted right now. But there is something which has been flagged, and which is interesting, and which we shall see how it fills up. But Ravish, there are two things which are happening. One is the SCO conference is going to come up in Astana in June, I think. And then you have the Belt and Road Conference coming up in May, where the Chinese may invite India over there, may not, I'm not sure, because India has not been on board on the Belt and the Road. And third, of course, the BRICS Summit. So we have a full diplomatic calendar where many of these issues which you have flagged and which have been suggested in the Prime Minister's speech are likely to get filled up, and we'll see which way it goes.
Absolutely, Atul. I'll ask you to stay on while I bring in WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui into the discussion tonight. Taha, if I can begin by asking you about what is the sense you are getting, what are you making of Prime Minister Modi's remarks? And I quote him as saying, India alone cannot walk the path of peace. It also has to be Pakistan's journey to make. And he went on to say that Pakistan must move away from terrorism for talks to make headway. Taha?
Well, we know that in Pakistan, in the recent months, we've seen the change of military leadership here. And given the fact that the Pakistan military is what controls the foreign policy in the country, we've seen that the new military general, Qamar Bajwa, as soon as he came into power, he did say that there would be diffusion of tension on the line of control, and we saw that happening. Similarly, we've seen that the military chief has reached out to Afghanistan just day before yesterday. He called President Ghani and said that we should normalize the relationship between Afghanistan. So in that sense, I think because of the change of leadership and General Rahil Sharif departing, and we saw that there were lots of tensions between India and Pakistan during the last month of General Rahil Sharif. So in that sense, the new army chief coming in and so again, it could be taken as a signal for Pakistan that the new army leadership might engage with India and start fresh. But again, given the fact that we saw just recently Pakistan going for its first nuclear submarine and raising those nuclear tensions in the region. So for now, from the military, we do not have any response of what path it will take. But from the other here in the circles, in the political circles and the military circles in Pakistan, there must be a sort of a fresh start. With the army chief coming in.
Absolutely, Taha. Thank you. Thank you so much for your inputs. Thanks also to Atul Aneja for joining us from Beijing tonight. Now, moving on, Uttar Pradesh is a high-stakes game for all parties in India. For Akhilesh Yadav, it is an exercise in rebranding and asserting his leadership. For the BJP, it is about increasing its seats in the Rajya Sabha to break the opposition blockade. A win would be a much-needed endorsement for the Modi government.
परिवार एक है, कार्यकर्ता हमारे नेता एक हैं और जनता के बल पर आर्मियां हैं। मुझे अपने प्रदेश की जनता पर, देश की जनता पर पूरा विश्वास है।
Whether it was a well-rehearsed drama or a family fight gone out of hand, Akhilesh Yadav has emerged as a leader without the usual baggage associated with the Samajwadi Party. Even the Congress is happy to play second fiddle, of course, with the dream of repeating Bihar.
Alliance between Samajwadi Party under the leadership of Mr. Akhilesh Singh and Congress Party is going to be there.
श्री अखिलेश यादव तो स्वभाव से, चरित्र से, आचरण से, सिद्धांत और नीतियों के कारण समाजवादी है ही, और ये कोई जीत का विषय नहीं है, न किसी के हार हुई है न जीत हुई है। लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था में इस तरह की घटनाएं विश्वास पैदा करती हैं जनता का उन नेतृत्व के प्रति जो उनके लिए संघर्ष करते हैं।
The stakes for BJP in UP are also high. If the party does well in the state, it stands a good chance of improving its tally in the Rajya Sabha. And in the event it doesn't, it will have to suffer the brute opposition majority throughout 2018. Less spoken but present in each district, BSP2 faces a tough challenge from Akhilesh.
ये पार्टी का पूरा जो डीएनए है वो अपराधीकरण का है और ये अपराधीकरण का डीएनए बदल नहीं सकता, चाहे ये अलग रहे या साथ रहे। मैं समझता हूँ उत्तर प्रदेश के लोग इनको इस बार इतनी बुरी तरह हराएंगे कि फिर ये कभी सिर उठा नहीं पाएंगे।
ना भी अलायंस करे, लोग समझ गया जो सारे जो दल सिर्फ अपना सुविधा के लिए, ये लोग जो आर्थिक सुधार और देश का जो तरक्की होने वाला है इसको रोकने के लिए एक गठबंधन हो रहा है, इसलिए जनता उसमें फंसेंगे नहीं। जनता मोदी जी का साथ है और मोदी जी का साथ देंगे, और कोर्ट ग्रैंड अलायंस करे या साइकिल चले उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का विजय रथ यूपी में सारे और से आएगा, इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं है।
The results in UP will have an overall impact on national politics. But for now, all eyes on Akhilesh, who has emerged as a seasoned kid neta on the block. With cycle in place for Akhilesh Yadav of Samajwadi Party, the biggest challenge for him is to stitch an alliance with Congress, RLD and other small groups who have been supporting Akhilesh in his quest against his own father and his uncle. Sources say that the deal will be finalized in next 36 hours. Kartikeya Sharma for WION.
I am now joined by WION's chief domestic correspondent Kartikeya Sharma from New Delhi. Kartikeya, as the saying goes, the road to Delhi passes through Lucknow. So going beyond what you said in your report and going behind the news, as it were, how significant will be a pre-poll alliance between the Samajwadi Party and the Congress?
I think it will be very, very significant for the fact that Samajwadi Party's alliance with the Congress will be the main party fighting the Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP in a way has actually polarized the Western UP. So when you polarize the Western UP, it has a cascading effect all across the state. BSP, which has a face in Mayawati, would have done better if Akhilesh and with Samajwadi Party, Congress, RLD, JDU or the Lalu's party wouldn't have come together. Now the face-off has become between BJP and Akhilesh and BSP in between. So I would say this will be a new election, it will be a generation shift, and the biggest problem with BJP right now is that it doesn't have a face in Uttar Pradesh.
Indeed, Kartikeya. And in closing, Kartikeya, can the results of the UP elections, if they go in favor of the combined might of the Samajwadi Party and the Congress, indicate a possible realignment of forces in the run-up to the 2019 elections?
Absolutely, that cannot be ruled out because there's a goalpost shift within the Congress party. Congress party, instead of going solo, which Rahul Gandhi did in 2007 and 2012, decided this time to go with a Samajwadi party because they want to repeat a Bihar experiment again, which means be in power and stop Bharatiya Janata Party. And this is the reason why it will have a larger impact. It's going to, I think, sideline, or I would say make Mayawati angry. But Rahul Gandhi has started to take positions in terms of state and national politics. When it came to West Bengal, he sided with CPM. Mamata Banerjee was angry, but then he made up with Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee and Rahul Gandhi share a dais on the issue of demonetization. Left did not come. So I think it's also an experimental stage for Rahul Gandhi himself, who's being, I would say, in the last stages of taking over as the president of the Congress party, because the participation of Sonia Gandhi has become from minimal to zero.
Indeed, Karthikeya. Thank you so much, Karthikeya, for your input. That was WION's chief domestic correspondent, Karthikeya Sharma, reporting from New Delhi. Meanwhile, the Bharatiya Janata Party has complained to the Election Commission of India over Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi's comment that he finds his party's symbol, the hand, in the images of gods. BJP leaders met Election Commission officials to lodge an official complaint. The party has dubbed Rahul Gandhi's remarks as a violation of the Model Code of Conduct. It says Gandhi was trying to tell voters that by voting for the Congress party's symbol, they would be voting for their religion.
तत्काल जो है वो चुनाव के जो कानून है उसके कड़े प्रावधानों के तहत श्री राहुल गांधी जी पर और कांग्रेस पार्टी पर कार्रवाई की जानी चाहिए.
Time for a short break. More news on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome to Your World Tonight. Now, the poll battle for Punjab has begun and the star campaigners have hit the streets. In Amritsar, Navjot Singh Sidhu made a grand show. Here's more.
The Congress appears to be on a roll in Punjab.
We're now joined by WION's senior correspondent Raghavendra Rao, who joins us from Amritsar tonight. Raghavendra, the day saw Sidhu return to a grand welcome in Amritsar. We also saw Amrinder file his nomination. Give us a flavor, if you will, of the poll mood where you are.
Ramesh, Punjab is slowly getting into the election mode, as you saw Sidhu, who just joined the Congress a day back, today had a show of strength in Amritsar, and the numbers were there to display the kind of support he enjoys amongst the voters. Congress is considering this as a huge shot in the arm, having got Sidhu to join ranks with the party. Amrinder, meanwhile, today filed his nominations from Patiala. This is Captain's last hurrah, as it were, because he has already announced that this is the last time he'll be contesting any elections. So, and he has also, announced his decision to contest incumbent Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal on his home turf in Lambi. So, Amrinder Singh is taking the battle right up to the Badal's doorsteps, and having got Navjot Sidhu to join the Congress, though both Sidhu and Amrinder have had several differences in the past, they had made several statements against each other in the run-up to Sidhu eventually joining the Congress, but now everything is in order, and the Congress now hopes that with Sidhu on its side, it will be able to capitalize on this.
Indeed, Raghavendra, and also BJP has decided to field former Army Chief J.J. Singh from Captain Amrinder's hometown of Patiala. So how is that playing out with the voters there?
It's a very interesting selection of candidate, Ramesh. General J.J. Singh has been in the limelight all along. He was the Army Chief, he was always in the news for the right or the wrong reasons. Then as governor of Arunachal Pradesh, he made his presence felt in Delhi. He was never he never considered himself as somebody who had been banished to a northeastern state, and nobody really bothers about Northeast as much in the country. That's the general perception. But he was the one person who would routinely make his presence felt even in the Delhi's power circles. So this is a very interesting choice, you know, to pit General J.J. Singh against Amrinder, because mind you, you know, defeating Amrinder in Patiala is a very big ask. Amrinder Singh is the erstwhile Maharaja of Patiala. He enjoys an enormous support base in Patiala per se, and it is his home turf. And you know, you really need the BJP and other opposition parties. Any opposition party would really need a very strong contender to take on the likes of Amrinder Singh. So it's a very good move on part of the BJP. Whether General J.J. Singh makes an impact, whether he's able to put up a fight before Captain Amrinder Singh, is still to be seen. Also, the fact that Captain Amrinder Singh has decided to contest from Lambi, what this means is that Captain's energies will now be diverted to Lambi as well. He may treat Patiala, you know, as a given. He may consider that seat as, you know, in his pocket already, but it will not be easy. And, you know, elections in Punjab are always very unpredictable. So, since his energies will be diverted to Lambi also, and it will be no easy task for Amrinder to, cuff up a support base for himself in Lambi, which is the bastion of Prakash Singh Badal. So it's going to play out in a very interesting way. Ramesh?
Absolutely, Raghavendra. Thank you for your input. That was WION's senior correspondent Raghavendra Rao reporting from Amritsar. Now, moving on, as Tamil Nadu commemorates its late Chief Minister M.G. Ramachandran, or MGR's 100th birth anniversary today, there's an interesting twist to the succession battle in the party he founded. The late Chief Minister Jayalalitha's niece, Deepa Jayakumar, has thrown her hat in the ring. Deepa Jayakumar's entry adds another twist to the ongoing succession saga in the AIADMK. Murmurs of discontent had been getting louder since Monday, when former Minister KP Munuswamy lashed out at newly appointed Party General Secretary Shashikala Natarajan, saying that senior leaders were being sidelined in the party. A Tamil daily reported that all is not well between Chief Minister O. Pannirselvan and Natarajan. The report said party's senior leaders Panrutti Ramachandran and P.H. Pandian are with the Chief Minister, but a revolt cannot be ruled out.
Today I am here to declare my entry into politics. And I have definitely done that. I have also said I am going to contest the election.
And now to the reports of violent protests breaking out at Bangar in West Bengal, in which one person is dead. Violence broke out after locals clashed with the police over the acquisition of farmers' land for a power project. The issue can be traced back to 2013, when Trinamool Congress strongman Arabul Islam reportedly acquired 13 acres of land from farmers for a Power Grid Corporation of India's project. Villagers claim the police even attacked them inside their houses last night. The state government has announced that it is suspending work on the Power Grid substation for now. Students of Hyderabad University today observed their first anniversary of Dalit student Rohit Vemula's suicide. With protests getting out of hand, the university administration has once again deployed the police. Tens of students were detained, with the police resorting to lathi charge. Last January, PhD student Rohit Vemula killed himself at the University of Hyderabad after alleged caste-based discrimination triggering protests across India. The protesters have been demanding action against the perpetrators and the inaction of a law that checks caste-based discrimination in institutions. And a special CBI court has charged Indrani Mukherjee and her husband, former media baron Peter Mukherjee, in the sensational Sheena Bora murder case. The CBI court charged both Indrani and Peter with kidnapping, murder, criminal conspiracy, and for destroying evidence. Indrani is accused of strangling 24-year-old Sheena, her daughter from a previous relationship, whom she passed off as her sister. Sheena's burnt body was dumped in a bag in the forest at Raigad near Mumbai in April 2012.
Court has found that prima facie there is some evidence against all these three accused for committing the murder of Sheena Bora. And therefore the court has framed the charge of criminal conspiracy. They conspired together to kill Sheena Bora.
And the Bombay High Court has granted bail to the three main accused in the Mohsin Sheikh murder case. But in a development that has rattled civil society, the judge said that the murderers were provoked by the religion of the deceased. In May 2014, 28-year-old Mohsin Sheikh was murdered allegedly by some members of the Hindu Rashtra Sena while he was returning home with his cousins. The gang had beaten them with hockey sticks and cricket bats. While granting them bail, Judge Mridula Bhatkar of the Bombay High Court ruled, and I quote, "The fault of the deceased is that he belonged to other religion. I consider this as a factor in favor of the accused," unquote. She further said that the accused do not have any criminal background and that religion provoked them to commit the murder. Mohsin's family plans to move the Supreme Court. And moving on, actor Aamir Khan has tweeted in support of his co-star Zaira Wasim after she was trolled online for meeting Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti. Aamir Khan said that he read Zaira's statement and can imagine what led to her to make the statement. He further said that he considers Zaira to be a role model for him. Aamir also made an appeal to everyone to now leave her alone. Yesterday, Zaira Wasim posted a Facebook note apologizing for the people she met. Reportedly, after being trolled, she later deleted the post and tweeted saying that she was upset that it had been made national news. She then deleted the tweet as well.
हमने भी बचपन में इस उम्र में जिस 16 साल की उम्र 17-15-16 साल की उम्र तब तक हमने रेसलिंग में सफलता हासिल नहीं की, तब तक हमने भी लोगों के बहुत ताने सुने हैं और लेकिन मेरे पिता का साथ हमारे साथ हमेशा रहा है। जायरा के साथ तो पूरा देश खड़ा है और हम जैसे लोग, आमिर खान जैसे लोग उनके साथ खड़े हैं, तो जायरा को चिंता की बात है ही नहीं। हमारे साथ तो सिर्फ हमारे पिता का साया था। बहुत दुख होता है ऐसा सुन के कि हमारे देश में लोगों की सोच अभी भी नहीं बदल रही। तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि ये दंगल मूवी जिसने भी देखी है उनकी सोच बदले, लड़कियों के प्रति ऐसे कमेंट ना करें कि एक छोटी बच्ची को इतना दुखी किया जा रहा है कि ऐसे ऐसे कमेंट करके और उनको माफ़ी तक मांग ली। और मैं जायरा को कहूँगी कि जायरा आपको माफ़ी मांगने की कोई जरूरत नहीं क्योंकि आपने कोई गलत काम नहीं किया है।
Time for another short break. More news on the other side. Stay tuned.